You're now listening to From the Jump.
Welcome to From the Jump, your source for all things hip-hop. I'm Syllable, and we're here to talk today with some amazing folks about the role of education in hip-hop. Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment below saying, I subscribed, and we'll try our best to reply to your comment. So I'm curious if anyone has had a particular experience in education with hip-hop that made that connection for them. We've already heard from Asia. Definitely she had that. But everybody else, was there a turning point when you felt like this matters now?
I always enjoyed, like, if I was doing something along the lines of a play or a book, obviously, like, working in Baltimore, one of my favorite things, and I have to keep a straight face when it was happening, but when the kids clown each other, I could say this now because I'm not employed by the city, shit was hilarious half the time, and I would just have to pretend that it wasn't. So, like, one way I could keep it together and, like, make it constructive would be if we're reading The Crucible. You're this character, you're that character. They get to clown each other, but they're clowning the character.
Sure.
And so there's not that edge there of this is confrontational because you're not making fun of me, you're making fun of John Proctor, you know. So that to me was like one of the slick avenues that worked both academically, behaviorally, culturally in the room, and kind of made me think there's infinite ways to do this,
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say hip hop for me was like college. I wrote all my papers in rhymes, and Dr. Hicks, my professor, she was in charge of the English department, and she was the one that pretty much told every other professor to let him do his thing. That's what she told him. She said,
"Nice,
let that guy do his thing. He's doing something. Let him do what he's doing." As long as I did every subject, African studies, I did intro to politics, whatever my subject was, I wrote it in rhyme, and it became a huge deal there. So that's when hip hop, impacted me, because I remember Professor Terrell, which I saw a few years ago too, and she asked me what did I think of the Shakespearean sonnets, I think, or something, Shakespearean. And I was like, it's not better than Nas. That's what I said.
That's true. That's true.
I said that to her, and what changed my life was, instead of her dissing that whole situation, she walked over to the table and wrote down Nas, and I told her the album Illmatic and all of that.
Nice.
So in 2016, I went back to the school, and I was awarded one of the top 50 graduates at the university, and they both were there.
That's dope.
So I was extremely blown away from the fact that they okayed that back then, which made me become who I was, because I could have got shot down and my confidence would have been like, college is terrible right now, up in the college is terrible. They would let him do his thing. And even back then, Professor Terrell was saying I should do Sir Gawain and the Green Knight in rhyme. She was telling me all this stuff. She was like, nice. You make all these things in the books.
Taking requests.
Yeah, she was telling me this back then.
It's dope.
Because I was doing all of that stuff, Sir Gawain and Green Knight in rhyme. I was doing all that stuff in rhyme.
Do you remember any of those bars now?
I don't remember them, but I have the papers.
Nice.
I have all the papers. But I just found that, if they would have just dimmed my light right there, I don't think I would be Wordsworth right now, because there's so many instances in which I'm very confident in making a decision based on that decision I made, and they okayed it. So now I'm good with making a decision about something I'm passionate about when it's hip hop being infused in something like that, or if I feel a certain way just based off of them, and that's how it is, So that's, as us being up here, that's what we are. So us, we remind me of my Dr. Hicks and Professor Terrell that say, that's what you're doing, you dressing like that, that's fire. All right, well, do your work. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
We embrace it. So you got to embrace it. And, if they hadn't embraced it 20-some years ago, I wouldn't be Wordsworth. So you got to find those people.
Definitely.
I guess my story is different because I didn't get embraced. And in fact, a lot of times, when we was touring and doing all the music stuff in the early 2000s, I started teaching in 2002. Started teaching 4th grade, and I didn't let my students know about my hip hop. I thought it would be a distraction, right? Because I figured they'd be like, oh, let's talk rap, let's talk this, and then I couldn't teach them. And I didn't realize until much, much later that when I was my authentic self and when we sat and built on hip hop and I built with my students, we all benefited. Like, I was happier. I enjoyed it more. They enjoyed it. They felt like, they got a piece of me, I got a piece of them. So it was like that transactional thing. It was really, really good. But, so that was when I was in college, that wasn't even a thought. So I graduated UC in 97. So there was no hip hop in college. That wasn't even a glimmer in nobody's eye. But what happened was when I started working on my dissertation and started trying to approach universities, it's like, yo, can we put some hip hop? Can I do a class? Can I do this? Can I do that? I was getting laughed at. I got told no so many times. I just began to think that was the thing. Like, nobody was ever going to let you in. Right. But I just I kept going. And, so now today I'm teaching the first hip hop based education program at Ohio University.
Sweet.
For teachers. Like, we're teaching teachers how to use hip hop in the classroom. That's what I'm writing. I'm writing that program. 8 years ago, when I was trying to get somebody to hear me, they was like, come on, man. Like, I got shot down. I could name universities. I ain't going to put anybody on blast. But, like, now, and I'm teaching at Ohio State. Yeah. I'm teaching at Tiffin University. I'm teaching at, like, 4 different universities, hip-hop.
That's dope as fuck.
Right? My story is a little different. It's like, I had to just keep pushing. But that's what hip-hop is, though, right? Mm-hmm. Hip-hop is making something out of nothing. That's the story of hip-hop. Dudes didn't have, the money to go learn how to play drums or nothing. So they found a turntable with some breaks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what hip hop is. So that was always my mentality. Like, okay, keep telling me no. That's cool. I'm going to figure it out.
Because, once you get the one, now that multiplies to us being able to let more. So it multiplies. So that's what it is.
We'll just keep pushing.
Going with it, right? Because
we'll just keep pushing.
Eventually somebody,
Well, I think part of it is that sometimes we try harder when we're told no, right? When I was going to start my trip into being an entrepreneur, which I've been for the past 3 years, I had people that I trusted that didn't believe in me, that said I wouldn't make it. Essentially, 3 years later, I'm still here, right? And so it's one of those things where, tell me no. Tell me I can't do it, Let's see what happens. I think there's a lot of that battle for overcoming inner demons as well as outer when we're in hip hop and the narrative that hip hop has, and I think
that's what hip hop was told they wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. That's when I was growing up. That's what they said. This is a fad.
It's a fad.
This ain't gonna last.
Just like breakdancing. But let's talk about. I want to talk about hip hop, but I also want to touch on something that Wordsworth said because it really rang true with me, and that's that. The element of self-efficacy, right? They've done studies where they've told kids, they randomly selected a group of kids out of a class. They told 2 groups, right? One, they told them they were smarter than the rest of the class. The other group, they told them that they were dumber than the rest of the class. And the ones that they told that weren't as smart scored lower. They didn't do as well in class. They had poor self-esteem issues. When they were told smarter, they made higher scores. They went on to go to college. All this kind of shit happened, right? There was no difference. They were identical. So that encouragement, when people are young and impressionable, is key to everything. And the idea of self-efficacy, for our listeners that haven't looked it up on Wikipedia, it's basically the concept that if you believe in yourself, being able to believe in your own abilities increases your actual aptitude and your ability to do that ability even better with craftsmanship and skill, right? Kids, they're embryonic, they're learning, right? They're just developing. When they have that encouragement, that lights that fuse of self-efficacy inside that allows them to self-build, right? And to create something better out of themselves. And so it's vital. It's vital that we have that encouragement.
It's like number one, like when you gotta be that cheerleader because you're getting kids that are coming from home and some of them never heard a good thing. I had a student, her name, I don't say her name, but
don't say her name.
Her address is right.
She doesn't go to my school no more though. But I did have a student, and she was in my music class. I had her in my music class. She was a terror with me in music production, right? they got it transferred out to me again, but in my film class. Totally different. So she just didn't really want to be in music. So anyway, she hooks up with these other two girls, and they do a PSA, and they win an award for it. And she told me that her mom told her that she never thought she would ever see her win an award ever for nothing.
Yeah.
She told me that. So that's the type of stuff you don't know what you're dealing with. Like, we and her going at odds in this music thing. She transferred. She around the right people. She was around the right people. She excelled, got an award, walked on stage, and she told me she was able to bear that to me. Like, my mom never thought I would win anything.
Yeah, she had to even trust you enough to tell you that.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's wild to me. Right. So it made me think about how deep it is.
Yeah, it is.
What is she hearing at home? What are they hearing at home?
Yeah.
So when they come to school, you got to be their biggest cheerleader.
Yes, you do. Because you don't know what they're going through at home, man. I had, man, listen, I got students. I've been teaching about 20 years now. I got students from 20 years ago that I still talk to, that still hit me up. They need that encouragement. They need that. And I'm there for them. Right. And that means everything. That's what it's all about.
Definitely.
That's what it's all about.
Definitely. So my dad's a high school dropout. He told me college was for just the brainwash growing up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was working at General Motors, which was a pretty bad job. But I worked there for a year, and people were telling me, Trevor, you should go to college. You should go that. And I, didn't think I was that type of person because I grew up on the streets, and I was always that guy in my head of that kid, that scrappy kid on the streets, right? Yeah. It wasn't until I changed that self-image because people outside of me said, no. You would do well in college, right? I had to have them tell me that. And, of course, discovering there were Pell Grants also helped out. Free money? No. Go to Bali. No. That got me to college, right? I had a friend of mine at that point in time who was a millionaire, and, obviously you can't, the proof's in the pudding, right? If this dude who's so much more successful than I am is telling me, go to college, I'm like, all right, you're telling me to go to college, you got the bag, all right, I'm going to go to college. But so yeah, the middle game is big. So let's talk hip hop. You just released a song with Talib Kweli with the Bluenote, and that shit was hot as fuck. They saved the best for last.
The Bluenote.
And those bars, those are hot. I think I actually had to get a fire extinguisher to my laptop and I put out some of those flames. Because you killed it on that. How did that come together? What was that? Like? Obviously, Talib, right? Because you were on the Black Star.
Yeah. Me and Kweli got a couple of songs together now, which is so wild. He actually was on one of my last albums in the past 2 years, the Champion Sounds album. He's on there too. Me and him, it's crazy because after all these years, like, we're still in touch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that song live at the Bluenote is actually his artist Niko Is song. And produced by Junior Ali, and they both live in Orlando. So it came about because Kweli performs at the Bluenote in New York very often. Like, he was there like last month for like 3 nights. He was there last weekend 3 nights. Yeah. And at the end of every show, usually Punchline and AL are there, and people come out and freestyle at the end with Niko and everybody. So they've been there so much, Niko was like, yo, we should do a song called Live at the Bluenote. Because we're there so constantly. Yeah. So Midas the Beast is on there, he sets it off, and then Niko was on there, and then AL got on there next. And AL FaceTime me after he recorded his verse. He's like, yo, I'm here in Orlando, yo, you gotta get on this. So then he sent it to me, and then Punch gets on there, and then they're like, yo, we gotta send the Kwa. Ironically, when I sent my verse back, Junie was in the studio with Kweli and played it. So I think that's
what made Kweli want to get on.
Yeah, I think that was dope too, because he was able to hear and be like, all right, mess with this. Brothers is going in. So, it's a big record for Niko Is, because he got like the all-star lineup for his album coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to help boost his stature a little bit with this record. So I think that's dope, man. So yeah, that's how it came about. And then
that's dope.
That's how it came out.
So let's talk about what's coming up. What projects anyone is working on musically, and what we have to look forward to. And if anyone has links, right? If you have links to the curriculum, if any portion of that is online for hip hop and education, right? Send me that. I'll post,
Cool.
link it up with the podcast episode comments.
Definitely.
Right? All that kind of stuff. They want to promote stuff like that. But I'm just curious, you came out with this track. I'm like, this is dope as fuck. I love that shit. I've been sharing it with people that I know, and it's great stuff. So I was just curious, what everyone's working on. What are we doing in the music?
You want to
shoot? Working on 4 albums right now.
Simultaneously?
Yeah.
Usually.
The most recent full length that I had was called The Living Game. I had Joel Ortiz on there.
Nice.
Yeah, that Like Kobe record was the Joel Ortiz record.
Yeah.
After,
Kobe.
After that, I had something with Jaron Benton a few months ago. I've got I'm working on a project with Stu Bangas right now, who's one of my favorite producers, who's worked extensively with like Jedi Mind Tricks and Army of the Pharaohs and those kind of spitters. So that's gonna be
Copywrite.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's gonna be a real just rapper kind of record. But then I have others that I think showcase more the emote better, more of the songwriting side. So I'm looking forward to releasing those as like jigsaw pieces and letting people, see the totality of where I'm at right now. But we got visuals off that. I put a video out last week.
How did you get that dude? So I have to know.
Yeah.
In the Like Kobe song, which I'll link for everyone to check out. What I want to know, I mean, it's a dope song. Love the lyrics, love delivery. It's great. It's a dope hook. It's a catchy hook, right? And it's dope. You got Joel Ortiz of Slaughterhouse. I actually met Joe Budden outside of one of his shows during South by and handed him my demo years ago. I know it ended up in the trash can or was an ashtray, but the fact that I got a chance to do that and meet Voice to 5'9" for all of 5 seconds, right? That was dope.
2 of my favorites, yeah.
Joe Budden is one of my favorite rappers, hands down. The way he creates raps about his baby mama or whatever, but also puts the punchlines in there is dope stuff. But it was dope you got that from Slaughterhouse, Joel Ortiz. But what I'm curious about is the dude spinning all these basketballs. He's got like 2 basketballs. He's like doing all these. He's got like basketball spinning on the shoulders. And that's actually a form of contact juggling. I did a juggling camp when I was younger. I know that stuff is possible, but I know we got CGI. I was just curious.
No, that's like Black Jack, who's like who's a wildly famous street ball player, who's phenomenal with all of those things. And basically COVID happened, and my homie Roman Perez, who lives in Brooklyn and plays pro ball, we knew we couldn't link with Joel to shoot over COVID. We still needed to get the video done. Roman has a daughter who is a really good basketball player, so I saw kind of the Kobe Gianna parallel there, and the song wasn't a tribute, but the video came out after he passed, so I was like, let's give some tribute elements in the video. So that happened, and then him and Blackjack are friends, and that dude is like he was like N1 before N1, so to get him in the video was a no-brainer. Nice. And he did, yeah. It was. I was floored with how that one came out, but
yeah, that's incredible.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, mad props.
Dope.
Jay,
did you get to go yet? Words? Talk about what you got.
You
got stuff.
I'm going. Well, he just shared about
he shared about the Bluenote. But Words got some stuff.
Okay.
Don't sleep.
I'll let you go because I just spoke up.
Okay.
All right. Well, man. All right. Well, music wise, I got a lot going on. So he's talked about Niko Is, who's Kweli's artist, and your favorite, Copywrite. The 3 of us have an album that we're working on. We're about 7 songs deep.
Sweet.
It was just going to be a 7-song.
Niko,
and Copywrite. And so I'll play some for y'all later. I might send you a little snippet. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, man, just we just were talking one day and it just happened, and so I sent a joint, sent a couple joints, and Cat wrote and did the thing, and then
Niko writes mad fast,
but so does Copy. Yo,
I was in the studio with Niko and last few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and it was a beat came on. He was writing. I was like, I don't write like that.
Right. Niko and Junie was at the crib, and they was just chilling, and we just was messing around. And he was like, but play some beats. And I was just, all right, playing some joints. And I played one. He said, yo, let that play for a little bit. And then he got up and had a whole verse. It was like 5 minutes. I was like, What? He killed it. But that's how it started. And then me and Copy, we was talking. We got him. So J Rawls, Niko Is, Copywrite. Man, that's gonna be crazy. Then me and Red Matic, our album is done.
Right.
Yeah, you know, got the world famous Wordsworth on there with JR. We got Illa J Dilla's little brother, Frank Ned. We got Ross Kass. Yeah, we got Blue.
When was the last time he put something out?
Oh man, he's definitely still
JMO Gang, man. JMO Gang. He's still active with
J57. Yeah, Razzcast is working.
Nice.
He's working.
Mike Swift is
and he's nice.
I'll have to check it out.
He killed it. And
Rex is nice.
Yeah, and Blue's on there. So we got a lot of
Blue
people on there. Yeah, Blue.
As in a Blue and XL, Below the Heavens? Blue?
Yeah.
I've been wondering what happened to him.
He's active too lately.
Like, I haven't seen anything from...
He just put a project out with Mickey Fax.
When was that?
Yeah, a couple months ago. Yeah.
Really? I need to catch that.
Yeah, man. Blue's still working. And then, album with DJ Center. And that's... Because I've been kind of experimenting a little bit. I've been changing up the vibe a little bit. I got some dance floor music. I'm coming.
Oh, yeah?
With. Yeah?
I would like to do an album like that.
Yeah, man. Yo.
Send me some joints. You know, like the
I send you some joints.
The Exhale joint.
Yeah. I'd
like to do an album like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's the next. That's the vibe I'm on now.
Okay.
I'm kind of like.
I just want to do an
I'm
album
living in that now. I was playing it earlier, and he was like, "Yo."
Yeah, that's the vibe I want.
That's where I am right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm still a hip hop dude, but I'll be like, "Yo."
I want an album with just that vibe.
Man,
I actually just created a new hip hop song that's more of a background dance track, and I've never done that before.
Trying new things.
Yeah, just trying to experiment, right? So
yeah, man,
that's dope.
Whole bunch of stuff, and then March 25th, my instrumental album comes out, and that's on vinyl.
Nice.
So I'm excited. Yeah, and like you, we ain't pressed up 1,000 copies. We're smart with it. We did 300. And we'll see, and then we'll re-up if we need to. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's it. Just staying busy, and then still doing the education thing, and that's really taking off. I'm doing, like, next week, I got Capital University. I got Virginia Tech. There's another one, too. I can't remember. But it's like, yo, it's getting crazy right now.
You had Ninth one day at your class from the other day?
Ninth just popped out, man. Yeah, we was... So, I got a hip-hop class at Ohio State, and Ninth just happened to be in town. He was there for his daughter. She had a basketball tournament in Columbus, and so he was like, "Yo, what you doing tonight?" I was like, "Man, I'm teaching." He was like, "Yo, I want to come by." I was like, "No, I'm gonna tell you no, you can't come by." I was like, "Yeah, come on through." So he came through, hung out with the students. The week before that, I had Kweli on the Zoom. He talked to my students, and he got real. He was really breaking stuff down, but. I think, and that's what I was telling you, Words. Just like, I think, like, everything that I've done has built up to, like, how I have those hip hop connects now that I could bring it and bring that realness to the classroom.
Exactly.
Like, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, man.
That's dope as fuck. Props, man. I mean, I have to give you props just hand down. It is legendary to me that I'm sitting next to the man who produced songs I grew up listening to, cut my teeth on, played when my kid was a toddler, you know, and not to age you, but it was.
I know. Look, she told me her age. I was like, yeah, it's all good.
But it is such an honor to build with you right now, especially on such honorable topics, right?
Yes, sir.
And what was that? If you could give me a brief snippet of like how did that come together? How did you end up working on We Are Black Star, aka Black Star, or Talib Kweli and most of our Black Star?
So, well, for me, I went to the University of Cincinnati, and for those that don't know, High Tech is from Cincinnati, and through a mutual friend, High Tech and Kweli had met, and Kweli was taking the Greyhound from Brooklyn to Cincinnati almost every couple weeks, coming to build with High Tech. And so we was all crew hanging around, you know, Mood and 5Ds and all of us. And so Kweli was like, "Yo, me and Mos are about to do a record. Why don't you give me some beats?" And so made a beat tape. Okay, so tape, a cassette tape. I know what that is.
This is not an app on the phone.
So gave him a beat tape, and the brown skinned lady beat was actually just a snippet, but I put it on there because it had all those changes, and that's what most would later tell me. He was like, "Yo, that's what drew me to it. The changes, dun, 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 all that stuff." So I mean, that's how it happened. Just from being in the studios and hanging around in Cincinnati, because Kweli was always coming to the Natty to mess with High Tech.
It's dope. That's just think if one thing would have happened differently, right?
Hey,
you know,
I always
right?
think about that.
Yep.
I always think about that. Shoot, I mean, I wouldn't have met Words,
right?
I think I probably met you at Nkuru, didn't I? That was probably the first time.
Probably did.
It was at Nkuru.
We used to have a bookstore, Kweli, and most used to have a bookstore in Brooklyn and do open mics at Nkuru.
It was everything.
So what you got coming up for music? You said you got. Do you have 20 albums concurrently?
At least.
All right. So right now I got the Undivided Attention out. That's with JF. And then next month I'll have a book dropping. It's like an all ages book. I'm looking towards going towards like a Netflix type Pixar type of vibe with that. And then the next album is called The Fragility of Life. It's how fragile life is.
What a title,
so,
man.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite album maybe thus far. Wow. It's the way it is sonically. What I'm talking about too. So that comes out June. I actually just got the test presses of it, so I got one for J Rawls, so he'll be the first with the album actually in the world.
Nice.
I got something going on with the University of Miami, so that I actually start filming something for them on the 22nd.
What's that about?
So
is it top secret?
I'm gonna wait till it's done. I'm waiting till it come out.
You said Spike Lee was involved?
It says Spike.
I got something going on there that's a pretty big deal. But I gotta like to wait till it come out. All right, but the other two music situations, and also writing a book to go along with the album too right now. And then I got an album with Pt2, and Pt2 is no joke. He does he's done Mickey Fax album, Bridge Ross thing. He does majority of RJ Payne stuff right now. He did he actually did RJ Payne's whole new album.
I like Briz as a battle rapper.
You like Briz? I like Briz all around. So RJ Payne. Then I got a project. Me and Superstition got like 10 joints sitting there together. The whole like an album.
10.
Yeah, we got like 10 joints sitting there. Like a whole album sitting there. And then I just keep going, man, and just evolving with the books and stuff. So it's a whole bunch of stuff I'm working on, but it's just one at a time to get to the next thing.
Stay busy.
Yeah.
Get to the next
That's
thing.
dope.
I'm excited though. I'm excited because I know what this stuff sounds like. Like I love playing it for people because I'm excited.
Well, feel free to reach out to me with anything you want to get covered. We can do an album review on stuff. We do album reactions, right? So feel free to hit me up. We definitely like to cover that. We've covered all of Nas's releases as he's acting like a hungry freshman right now, releasing like 5 albums in 3 days. But it's dope because it's incredible to be alive when you hear a classic work being released. Like I'm alive right now when classic works are being released, like that Magic and King's Disease 1 and 2. But you need let me know if you got Nas's number, because it'd be dope to have him on the cast, but also it'd be dope to see you guys on the track, that'd be hot.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fire.
That'd be nice. Nas, if you're watching, hit up Wordsworth. But any websites or places you want to send folks that are watching the cast right now to check out more of what you guys are doing?
Let's let her start.
Yeah.
Because you got business. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. COI Takeover. So COI and then Takeover. And then we just premiered last year, which is kind of like a community. It's called Creativity Never Dies. So we're taking a lot of old footage. I'm going through hundreds of hours of archive footage based around the DMV and just trying to curate something for my city, just to let them know we started from somewhere. And we may have somewhere, long ago, but we're also in the hip-hop community. So just kind of remind them of that. So COI Takeover, Ace Matthews everywhere. I'm still building studios for these kids. So
Sweet.
if you guys have any investors, anybody that may want to help out, come holler at me, because my company, that's what we're doing right now. So just moving on with the mission.
Sweet.
Wow. Okay.
J
Rawls 82, Twitter and Instagram, and then my education company with my brother John Robinson, because we have a book called Youth Culture Power, and an album. We did the album as well.
That's fine.
That's fire. MC Bravado.
Yeah, MC Bravado across social media. I'm not Champagne Poppy, so I have to keep it simple. It's just MC Bravado. Look out for Beats Not Bullets, music education nonprofit out of Baltimore, for which I'm program coordinator, as well as my partner Brandon Lackey, not pictured, being a boss on the couch, is also program coordinator. He owns Lineup Room Studio, which is, in my opinion, the best studio in the DMV. And with the program, we just partnered with two pretty major, I can't say who, but on the corporate side, really good things to help us grow nationally, and working on a documentary that, is looking like it's going to wind up on a very significant platform. So we're out here to amplify the kids' voices in Baltimore and to continue to do sound things on the pedagogy side, to add financial literacy and entrepreneurship elements and create jobs and wealth in the community.
That's an honorable fucking cause. Financial literacy is especially important. I'm about to teach my son how to balance a checkbook for the first time, right?
Because
he's 16 and he's about to start working. I'm like, all right, you gotta, before that child support payment kicks in, you gotta learn how to balance the paycheck.
It's time.
But that's great.
And the last sidebar, if you're around Friday, we are receiving Beats Not Bullets as one of several organizations selected for the Community Service Award by South by Southwest.
Sweet.
So very excited about that.
Nice. And where can our audience find Wordsworth?
I got a Bandcamp page. You can also find my book on Amazon, What Words Are Worth, Volume 1. I'm pretty much, fatbeats.com if you want to find music that I put out. You want to buy physical copies and stuff. But I also have stuff on my Bandcamp page, physicals on there. You can get me either way, digital and physical, shirts and vinyl. And then I have a Threadless. Wordsworth.threadless.com, so it's pretty much shirts, cups, mugs, shower curtains, everything you want. What's dope about it is what I do is if you're an artist and you take a photo of me or you draw something with me and you open up a Threadless page, I split the proceeds 50-50, so that way I did that with all the artists that do my album covers, and then my album covers become shirts. You go in there, you can buy a shirt, and I just want to make sure that I just try to keep it as fair as possible. So if you got a photo of me and it's dope and I want to use it, I just upload it. You open a Threadless, and if somebody orders a shirt, you get paid, I get paid, and that's kind of how I'm building it with that. My daughter has a Threadless too. It's ITSDONAE. It's Danae at Threadless.com. So you'll see. I'm going to be on the cover of Hip-Hop Breath magazine in April, and you'll see me wearing her stuff.
Sweet.
Love it.
That reminds me of Mirror Music, that track you kept saying, Danae.
Oh, yeah, that's her. She dropped me at the airport.
Right. She little no more.
Stand up, baby, no more.
Oh, man.
She's doing her own thing with the art, and, so
it's fly as fuck.
I'm just trying to, wear her pieces as much as possible with my exposure, and so this will be, I'm excited because it's a family thing to see me on this cover one, and then I got her sweater on and they got her design, and then can't wait to make a poster of that and just have it in my house, and
You sound like a good dad, Wordsworth. Trying to help your kids out. On the entrepreneur tip.
She did it herself. It's the piece that I have on there. It was the highest graded piece in her class, in her art class. She's in college.
Sweet.
She got the highest score on that piece, and now she made it into a sweater, and I'm excited to just like I said, bring it full circle and have something that's always there that she can look at and
keep the legacy alive.
Yeah, it's dope.
That is dope. This has been one of the most phenomenal podcast interviews that I've done with Folks doing good shit in the world. Good people, not just good rappers and good producers, right? But good people doing good stuff. And that's great.
I enjoyed this too.
Yeah, it was dope as fuck. If anyone has one last shout out they want to do, you know.
I did want to say one other thing. It's at, I said my Instagram, Wordsworth, BKLYN, and then Twitter at Wordsworth_EMC. And then I'm on Facebook too. So
For sure. Definitely. Well, we're going to do an experiment, all right? So every episode for From the Jump, my co-host, Mr. White, who's usually here, but he had to work tonight, we end it with our signature outro where we say From the Jump at the same time, right? So we're going to attempt to do this with 5 people, right?
That's right.
So
count it down.
So listen, you know, we're gonna have altos on one end, sopranos on the other. All right, we're gonna orchestrate this. No, it's real easy. So listen, what did y'all think about the role of hip hop in education in hip hop? What did y'all think about using hip hop as a vehicle to reach kids, to help them learn, and to make that connection, and not to make education so impersonal? How do y'all feel about that? Please comment below, like and subscribe, and tune in for another episode of From the Jump.